Hey, welcome back to this mini lecture. My name is Dino. It's the corporate response to the Russell Brand scandal. For those of you who may not have heard of him, Russell Brand, I talked about him in a primer on a previous video. He's a British comedian, a television and radio personality, an actor, and a YouTuber more recently. This is a quick overview of some of the legal and reputational issues that Mr. Brand is dealing with at the moment. There are some accusations of rape, sexual assault, and abuse, and the accusers are four women, one of whom was allegedly 16 at the time. The investigation that led to these legal and reputational issues was led by the Sunday Times, the Times, and Channel 4 Dispatches. The last is a documentary program. The duration of the investigation, it started apparently 4 years ago in the wake of the Me Too movement, so it's been going on for quite a while, but the actual public-facing part of it, the articles and documentary, just surfaced a couple of days ago. I'm going to sort of have a couple of corporate communication observations that sort of came from this. A lot of people who are talking, the commentariat, if you will, they're talking about the idea of speech constraints, and that there's been some pushback against, say, YouTube, for example, for demonetizing his content. And they want people and platforms to be free speech venues. Unfortunately, to push back against that argument, private corporations are normally not, they're almost never free speech absolutists. They make decisions in terms of content on them all the time. And in this case, they've decided to, for YouTube's case, demonetize Mr. Brand. So it makes sense for them in terms of maybe a broader corporate image they're trying to convey. So they may agree or disagree with him or his speech, but they also, it appears, because of these allegations, have decided to demonetize his content, which is a little bit different from them, the speech. It's more his reputation now that's been damaged. So they've constrained his speech, at least in terms of allowing him to monetize. I believe at the moment he can still actually broadcast videos. He just can't make money off them. Feeding into the first point, social media platforms are part of corporations. Again, YouTube is a part of the Google family. They are Google and Alphabet is a corporation. It's a publicly traded corporation. It has a profit motive. It is primarily a profit-driven organization, as well as other platforms. As a result, going back to the free speech notions, they are purely driven by profit. As a result, any decision that's done with about a person like Russell Brand, it's purely bottom line driven, which again can push back against giving anyone the right to say anything at any time. In terms of the long view, this sort of contextualizes my previous 2 points. For an example, again, in terms of YouTube, which this is being hosted on, they may be thinking in terms of their long-term branding as being a safe space for various people. I believe there's a YouTube Kids. As a result, there's like kids programming for youth. There's obviously women creators as well, and women and significant women audiences. They're probably doing a long-term play where they're saying that is more important than any short-term Russell Brand revenue or support that they could give them. So again, that it feels like that's their strategy. Only the people up at the C-suite at Google and Alphabet would know. In terms of the short view, perhaps YouTube and Alphabet have seen what has happened to X and Twitter, and whether you like Elon Musk and his stewardship of X and Twitter or not, there has been at least a short-term decline in the service. It seems like in terms of revenues, definitely ad revenues, that has become more of a free speech venue than it was previously under Jack Dorsey. As a result, it seems that some advertisers at least are uncomfortable with that, and they would prefer to be more curated, more surveilled, more censored. As a result, I think potentially YouTube saw that and wants to push back against maybe every type of free speech as well as every type of creator. So that might have been dictating their short-term view, again, in terms of not supporting Brand in the short term, and in terms of allowing him to monetize his content. it also speaks to the idea of social movements. Earlier on, I talked about how this investigation, according to the journalism organizations involved, it started 4 years ago, which is basically the tail end of the Me Too movement. And although it obviously hasn't been wrapped up and Me Too is an ongoing movement, these types of social movements have long shadows. And as a result, again, I think YouTube and Alphabet have decided, given that they want to attract as broad an audience as possible, including women, etc., they might find that to be in the right side of history and the right side of the social movement is better for them, again, to demonetize brand, whether you like that or not. So that's various ideas about corporate pushback against Russell Brand. Please feel free to comment. Do you think that corporations should be supporting Brand? Should they be taking his content off, like some other some places have done it? Should they just allow anyone to say anything at any time? Please feel free to like this video if you do like it, and please feel free to subscribe to this channel if you like similar content. Thanks for watching.